And on that unfortunate incident and the story of Benedict Kabiru, that's where we want to start on the NewsGang with our early start this evening. And Yvonne, looking at that statement from the National Police Service, of course, a family that has been in anguish over the past few weeks and months, to an extent that now that the National Police Service is communicating, but there are so many details that are not in that statement. It has taken 6 months, Sam, for the police to communicate this finally. Remember, this police officer went missing in March of this year. The family has been in anguish and agony over the lack of official communication from the police service about his whereabouts, whether indeed he was alive or not. In fact, so much so, and I know they say there in that statement that it was a time difference issue. Yep. Very unfortunate that the family has to hear from the president in New York that their kin is dead. This coinciding with the fact that they had actually gone to court around June or July with a petition to the government trying to get information on it. If you recall, that petition listed the Attorney General, the Inspector General of Police, various ministers or cabinet secretaries as respondents. Even when the president did make that announcement, the Attorney General continued to say they were not aware. Right. Never mind, the Attorney General was seated right there in New York, listening to the president's speech. Again, and that statement, by the way, it doesn't say much. Do they have his body? What were the circumstances of his death? Remember, Haitian media since June have been reporting that this officer was killed. Right. The Kenyan police continue to say that the search was ongoing. That's what prompted the family to go to court. A very anguishing way for them to hear this news breaking from New York. And once again, just exhibiting what has been the hallmark of this administration, which is lack of communication, improper communication, misinformation, disinformation, or lack of information, and this one with such grave, grave consequences. And looking at that statement, it begins to indicate to you the sort of terrain that we're dealing with in Haiti. And of course, listening to the president earlier in the week, was addressing the General Assembly in New York, the challenges that are existent there. So far, 3 police officers dead, including Mutuku Nzuve, whose body will arrive in Nairobi tomorrow, which is the 26th of September. I don't know, Linus, what we learned from this tragedy.
I think a lot of things are now starting to emerge about the true state of the Haiti mission. Just going by what the president said in New York, that in itself painted a very, very interesting picture, raising, among other questions, the question of the funding of this mission, because you had the president there speaking and he was not sounding very pleased with how the mission has been handled. Right. He almost suggested that it's a flight in the dark. And he went on to suggest also that the equipment that they have received as part of the support from the United States was substandard, and that it was actually putting the Kenyan troops in the mission at risk. All this is said in the US. And then his former cabinet secretary, Moses Kuria, back home here, tweets something to the effect that the government and President Ruto may have been misled about the Haiti mission by former US ambassador to Nairobi, Meg Whitman, for 2 years. And, Moses Kuria, in his characteristic manner, directly said Meg Whitman was running the show for 2 years in Nairobi. And by that, he actually meant including the Haiti issue. Yeah.
And Bonyo, again, looking at that statement from the police service, it's saying that they've been in touch with the family, saying that now because they have learned of the developments, they have gone ahead to notify the family. I don't know what that says. At a time that you're wondering, like Yvonne was saying, how does the president know new information ahead of the National Police Service? But essentially, how should the National Police Service handle such kind of information when dealing with a family in this particular matter?
First of all, you might want to ask, where's the compassion? Does it mean that when somebody joins our National Police Service or even the Kenya Defence Forces, they surrender their lives to the state? and their family is ignored completely. I'd want to disagree with the CS Interior, claiming that this was a factor of time difference. It is not. The president's speech is prepared days ahead, especially for such meetings, such that it is moderated and edited to fit the occasion. And therefore, the president must have known these days before he flew to New York City. And where is the information flow? How does the president get this information? He gets it from the CS Interior, meaning Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen must have known these days ahead of the president, because that is how that information flows. He is the principal person to brief the president about the happenings at the Interior Ministry. So by saying that this was a factor of time difference and that the president and the National Police Service must have known this at the same time, tells you that there's a gap in communication. Suffice to say that we have an ambassador in Haiti that must have been given this information and transmitted to Nairobi. So somebody at Ministry of Foreign Affairs must have known too. So this is information that was with the government. And I think the president saying it must have caught the National Police Service flat-footed. And remember, the president says it on the day that the National Police Service, the Attorney General's office, were denying in court that this gentleman was still being categorized as missing.
And I don't even understand which time difference, because Haiti is 7 hours behind Nairobi.
Yes.
New York is how many hours behind Nairobi?
What, 8?
8 hours.
So. Actually,
but the president knew before Haiti or before Nairobi?
But don't look at it in terms of hours. Let's look at this in terms of months.
Yes.
This incident took place
in March.
6 months ago.
Yes.
If time difference comes in, there's absolutely no way Haiti is 6 months behind Kenya. And this is, again, a question of not taking Kenyans seriously, including the intelligence of the Kenyan people. I don't know what the Interior CS was hoping to achieve with that argument about time difference. If Kabiru had died 7 hours ago, yes, it may pass. But 6 months later, do you want to tell and convince Kenyans that you knew nothing for 6 months and that the last 7 hours you got to hear something? And I think the whole question of compassion also comes in, where again the sensitivity of government is put to test. The fact that you are dealing with just a small family called the Kabiru family is no reason to behave this way. And we know the protocols when it comes to communicating deaths. Even we in media, we operate under the same rule of have the first, what do you call them? The next of kin been informed. And I want to give an illustration of the recent, of the death of General Ogola.
Yes.
We in the newsroom knew when the chopper went down immediately.
Yes.
We knew how many people were in there. We knew General Ogola was in there, and we knew he was dead. But we delayed for about 3 hours because we wanted State House to be the one communicating to the country.
Right.
This is the decency the family of Kabiru deserved. They didn't need to hear from a press conference in New York or some event in New York that their king is dead. I think it's really, really disturbing. It's a major test for President Ruto in terms of just sensitivity to a fellow human being, a test for Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS for Interior. And the last thing you should do when this has happened is to start telling I don't know how to describe what he was talking about as 6, 7 hours, the time difference. I think he needs to respect the family. He needs to respect Kenyans as he explains what transpired. And I think the big thing they should have said is, we are sorry.
We're sorry. Yeah, and just to quickly reiterate on this matter of decency, it is very clear. I mean, one would imagine that, you know, the government of Kenya has sent 1,000 or so police officers to Haiti, that maybe the first call that the president would have put in before making that speech and memorialize them would have been to the family. call them, tell them this is the information we have, and express that compassion, not just from the President, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Interior, the Inspector General of Police who commands the entire police service. And then I just want to illustrate again the issue of the time difference. This police officer went missing on the 25th of March. By the very next day, on the 26th of March, the Haitian Presidential Transitional Council already announced his death. They said he fell while carrying out his mission, and they, quote, say he gave his life for a better future for our country. This was on the 26th of March. What a time difference from the 26th of March to now the 24th of September that this is finally being announced by our president.
How many, 7 hours?
Exactly, in there. You're the one with the math. And just, you know, as a final point, this is what really pushed the Kenyan family of them to go to court. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a search in court. They petitioned Parliament. They wrote letters to the Kenya's Attorney General. They also wrote a letter to the Special Representative of the UN Secretary General in Haiti, Maria Salvador. This is the painful quest they've had for 6 months, petitioning the court. In fact, one of the pleas they gave in that court was just, we're asking the government to come out with finality, compelling the government to tell them about the state of their loved ones. It comes 6 months later. This is the time difference we're talking about. Clearly, there's a huge lag in the Ministry of Interior, the Inspector General of Police, and in the President's office.
And of course, Kabiru didn't take himself to Haiti. He was taken there.